Hello, this is Shea at the Life Wealth Group. I just want to jump on here really quick and give you an update of what we're seeing in the markets. As I speak today, we're on day 12 since Russia invaded the Ukraine, and the volatility is very evident. The markets do not like uncertainty. It's very evident. We're up, we're down. Um, since the market opened this morning, the S&P 500 is down a little over 2%. Year to date, the S&P 500 is down over 11%. But just a reminder, it's not our first rodeo. As I said, the markets do not like volatility. It's always going to react. It's going to speak up and let us know it doesn't like it. But it's not our first rodeo. We've been here before. Those of you that are seasoned investors, we had the Crimea War when Russia invaded Crimea back in 2014. We came out of that pretty quickly and the markets rebounded very quickly. We had COVID not so long ago. The markets rebounded very, very quickly after that. Um, so crises every few years we go through something, but corporations in America are strong. A lot of what you're invested in or your indexes are based on are strong American corporations and companies. So just bear that in mind as we navigate our way through this crisis that we're in today. Now, I realize that the impact's a little bit different. We're coming off the back of COVID. We've got a supply chain problem and we've got an inflation problem, and now we have this. So I do realize factors are a little different. But nonetheless, let me get back to what we're seeing out there going on. As well as the nations are coming together to impose more and more sanctions on Russia, but as well as political uh, nations, corporation, political leaders and nations, corporations are making their voice known. Companies like Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Nike, and Netflix, to name a few, have all announced that they will cease operations in Russia. More and more companies are joining them in this decision. Look, this will impact Russia where it hurts. Predominantly, they their exports are natural resources, they're oil and gas. They depend on these big corporations for their industry. So they need them. So right now, some of those companies are making a stand. Some other companies are joining in this stance. Japan, European countries, and the US are all now discussing what they're going to do to put restrictions on Russia and banning the import of oil. This is a new development. We'll see how it goes, but if it continues, it could represent further economic measures against Russia that should hurt them and hopefully cause them to back off. But it remains to be seen. How long and how deep will this go? Well, we will see, but we're watching it. We continue to monitor the situation, and in particular, the statements that are made by world leaders and corporations, what sanctions are imposed against them. But hey, you listen to the news too. So, on another note, another thing that sprung out of this is interest rates. If you remember recently, the Feds announced that interest rates would be going up, and they had plans to put in a few increases. That's my life just going off in the interest rates. Well, the Fed is hinting that they may back off of that a little bit. They don't want to push our country into a recession. So they were scheduled to hike interest rates by 0.5%, but they're hinting at perhaps they'll slow that, maybe about 0.25% hike in the interest rate, maybe more likely. So we'll see what goes on there. But again, I just want to remind you, look, if you're invested in the market, it's a long-term play. And if you're with us, we put a plan in place that's designed to navigate some of these crises. They do happen every few years, they happen, but historically, markets have recovered pretty strong. They do trend upwards over time. So if you're still saving for your retirement, just stick to the plan, keep going, do what you're doing. For those of you who invest a certain amount every month into your mutual funds or your 401ks mutual funds, you know, that little bit every month. There's a strategy called dollar cost averaging. Some days you're buying in when the market's high, and some months you're buying in when the market's low. But overall, it's quite an effective strategy price wise to get into the market. So just keep doing what you're doing. For those of you that are clients with us, you will know that we talk about planning a lot around here. We already put your plan in place. So if you're distributing from your accounts, we would have already raised your cash. At the end of last year, when the markets were high, we took profits off the table, raised the cash. That's what we're distributing to you during this crisis. So we're not getting money out of a down market or an account that's depressed. That's something we try to pay attention to. And in terms of money management, those of you coming in for your reviews, or those of you that came on board with us this year, we spoke to you a lot more about tactical managed portfolios. And if I could remind you what that is, in anticipation of the volatility that we saw coming, we introduced some new money managers to you with a slightly different technique than traditional asset allocation. These tactical money managers have algorithms and mathematical formulas that are designed to begin to maneuver when there's volatility. So we will see how that plays out, but we do have that in place for you. I took a look just before I come in, and some of our tactical money management, some of their portfolios are sitting with over 30% in cash today. So they've already responded to some of the volatility. They'll be taking that cash that they've raised and look for an opportunity to get back into the market or to another asset class that represents more returns to you. So that's what we're doing. That's part of what we're doing to help you. Um, and to reduce risk and exposure to the markets. In the meantime, we just continue to monitor the situation, review what's going on, and we'll keep jumping back on here and keep you updated. If you're out there and you're not sure how your plan's structured, or if you want to have a plan, go over your plan or review your plan with us, give us a call. We'll give you about 15 minutes just to bring you up to speed on what's going on, what we're doing. We'll speak to you and help reassure you of what's in place during this time. In the meantime, everybody, stay well, keep doing what you're doing, keep praying for our country, and we will speak to you if you need us. We're right here by the phone.